I loved Black Panther. I thought it was awesome. My only problem with this movie, it did not have enough panthers in it. Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and I'm here to discuss Black Panther. That theme song is so catchy. It's just been stuck in my head forever. So Black Panther is directed and co-written by Ryan Coogler and stars Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, our homegrown Trinbagonian Winston Duke, Denai Guerrera. The list goes on and on. Michael B. Jordan, Martin Freeman, the list goes on and on. And it tells the story of Prince T'Challa, who is now going to become King T'Challa of Wakanda, and his rise to the throne, the difficulties he has there, and he's also being, his throne is being challenged by an outsider for a mistake his father made. So Black Panther, this is the movie everybody's talking about. This is the movie, I'm sure my review is like going to be like one of the last reviews coming out for this, because we just got it here in Trinidad. Better late than never. And it's a movie everybody's going crazy for, and for good reason. This movie, it's a very, 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 very good Marvel movie. And I loved it. I'm going back to see it again. I loved it. But do I think it's the best Marvel movie ever? Let's get into that. First of all, I always like to start out with the visuals. And this movie, wow, they hit it out the park. Ryan Coogler and his team did an excellent job with the visuals in this film, because Wakanda came alive when we were introduced to it. You know, Marvel does a good job with their visuals, obviously. But it's very rare we get to see an entirely new, how to put it, an entirely new world, so to speak. With the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy and maybe Thor and Asgard. Wakanda is a place on Earth, so to speak. And, you know, it just fits so perfectly. They did a perfect job of balancing the futuristic, the very Afro-futuristic look of Wakanda. You know, you have that African culture that's blended in, but the technology is there, the advances are there. It was gorgeous to look at. I adored the ship design. I was in the cinema making notes in the dark like an idiot. And I'm like, oh my God, when I saw this ship and the way that ship looks, it's that it looks like an African mask from on top. It was fantastic. That caught my eye, and that kept me like, oh my God, I have to write this down. That ship design, it was beautiful. The costume designs are gorgeous. Everything is on point when it comes to the visuals of this film in that respect. I really, really loved it. It's one of the movies you have to see again to really take in. And I wish we spent a little more time in Wakanda. You know, I'm hoping there's like an extended version of this coming out, so we could get some of those additional scenes that I've heard of. The score is excellent. It fits so perfectly within this world, and it's so memorable. You can tap your feet to it. It evokes the emotions it's supposed to. And I always feel like a good score is one that does not overwhelm the movie that it's in. And I think the score here does that really well. It does not overwhelm. It complements. And of course we have the acting. And everybody brought their A game. No matter how big or small their role was, everybody brought their A game. But the standouts to me were definitely the characters of Shuri, Okoye, played by Denai, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, Denai Guerrera. From Walking Dead, we know her as Michonne, and Nakia, played by Lupita Nyong'o. Chadwick Boseman is fantastic as Black Panther. He has made this character his own. He balances what T'Challa should be as a young king who is, you know, wondering if the way things are being done in his country is the right way. You know, how do you balance tradition with progression? There's something he struggles with, and he does a fantastic job of that. And like I said, everybody brought their A game, no matter the size of their role. Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, I loved it. Now, Michael B. Jordan is an actor that I've always enjoyed watching. Even in the horrible Fantastic Four, he gives his all in that. Even with that horrible movie, he's not what is bad about that movie, and he's really good here. For me, his strongest scenes in this movie are his introduction in the museum, and when it kicks in the latter half when he gets into Wakanda, and his final scene. They are very impactful. There is a bit of a struggle there at times where I feel like he's coming on a bit strong because, you know, he's supposed to be this kind of guy, but I think he does a really good job of giving us a villain that actually has a story, or his reasons for doing what he's doing is something that you can understand and you can sympathize. It's like my boy Michael Keaton as Voltaire in Spider-Man all over again. A villain whose motives are not just, I want to blow up the whole damn world. There's a reason for what he's doing, and it's a reason that you can understand even though you don't agree with the way he's going about it. So yeah, everybody brought their A game. And in terms of story, it's an origin story. And origin stories, sometimes it's not, the pacing could be an issue, and it is here a bit, you know. I like the introduction, but things do take a while to get going in this movie. The first maybe 30 minutes of this movie, it's a pretty slow pace, and it doesn't really kick in until Killmonger gets seriously involved, which comes in the second act. You know, that's when things pick up, when the drama picks up, when the emotion picks up in this film. So guys, it's not much negative things to say about this movie. I enjoyed this movie. I think they did a fantastic job of hitting on the themes they were going for: spirituality, family, feminism, tradition versus progression. All these things they touched on, and I think they got their point across. And there's this movie, for me, I can see why everybody's going crazy over this movie. I felt like I was connecting with this movie in a way I didn't feel before, and that has a part of that really does have to play with the fact that we have Caribbean islanders in this movie. Winston Duke as M'Baku. He was so funny and he was outstanding. I'm so happy for him. Congratulations to him and to his family, and I wish him so much more success in the future. The actress who plays Shuri, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name offhand right now. She's amazing as well. She's from Guyana. And yeah, and I believe there was a Tobagonian as well involved in the creating of those gorgeous end credits. So you feel that, you know, oh, everybody in the cinema was cheering when Winston Duke came on screen, you know. So it was wonderful, and it made you feel like you were part of something, you know, and that's always awesome. So do I have any negatives about Black Panther? Yes. Don't kill the messenger. This is my personal thing, you know. Maybe for other people this movie is flawless. Me personally, there were a couple things that I had issue with, not big things, and like I said, it's my personal opinion. I'm sure for others it was like, what the hell are you talking about, you know? But for me, one, vibranium and the way it's used in this movie, I kind of struggled with. Vibranium, for those who may not know, is what Captain America's shield is made out of, and it's in Black Panther's suit and in his clothes, you know. It's like adamantium, that kind of level of material. But in the way it's used in this movie, it's almost like it's magic. There's nothing vibranium can't do in this film, and they don't really explain the strengths and weaknesses of it, you know. Where we know, well, we know what adamantium is, we know what it can do, but adamantium never feels like it's a be-all, end-all cure for everything. In this film, vibranium is capable of everything. It's in everything, and that was a little too much for me. I would have liked them to maybe dial back, or at least explain what it is this vibranium is capable of, because I don't want to get into it because I'll get into spoiler territory, but you'll see it when you see it. It's used in every aspect of Wakanda and in what they can do. So I struggle with that a bit. It came across a little bit too much like magic, you know, and you know, that's just me. Another issue I had was the final fight scene in this movie. I didn't think it was that great. The CG is a bit weak in that scene. The fight scene I'm speaking about, guys, is the one between Black Panther and Killmonger, their final fight scene. And then once again we get a villain wearing a costume that is basically a mirror of the hero. And I understand why, especially in this movie, because this is what happens when you become Black Panther. But I would have just liked Killmonger to be his own thing more, because this is something Marvel does in nearly all their movies. We got it in Ant-Man, we got it in Iron Man. The villain always has this costume that mirrors the hero. And I would really like to see them do something a little different, you know, the next time around. As for the fight scenes, like I was saying, I felt like Black Panther's fight scenes in Civil War were much better done, choreographed I should say, than the ones in this movie. Granted, I enjoyed them, especially the fight scenes in the casino. I love the action chase scenes. The Dora Milaje in this, they are so awesome. And Okoye's fight scenes are so well executed. But I felt like Black Panther fight scenes, they just weren't as awesomely aggressive as they were in Civil War, you know. So they're really good. I just wanted them to be at that level, because when he was introduced in Civil War, he was, holy shit, his fight scenes were executed perfectly. So I was hoping it would look more like that. That's it. That's my only real issues, and that's my personal issues. Does it take away from the movie? Absolutely not. Black Panther is an amazing film. It's definitely my top 3 Marvel films. I'm sure for some people it's going to be the best Marvel movie ever. Mine is still Captain America Winter Soldier. I still think that movie is just a cut above the rest. But Black Panther is right next to it. So I'm giving Black Panther an 8.5 out of 10. And I'm definitely going to see this movie at least a couple times more. It's Marvel at its best. And that's going to be it for me, guys. So I hope you liked this video. And if you did, you can hit the like button. It's much appreciated. If you want to subscribe, you can hit my face over there. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when I put out new videos. I'm on Facebook at Movie Junkies Continued, where I do my news and reviews. And that's it. So until next time, guys. Bye-bye.